Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Reftaco, and today we're back with another video, and Week 14 is here. We are almost at the end of the season. It is sad to say, but with that comes 13 great games. We have the last 6 teams on a bye that will be on a bye. They are, I know, Houston, New England, Washington, Indianapolis, and 2 other ones. Last week, I went 13-3. As a total, I believe I'm 138-57. And yeah, we got some pretty decent games this week. So let's get into it. Start off Thursday Night Football, a huge game. The Lions and the Packers. When you look at the Packers, this team had a really good win last week against Miami. Yeah, you played a really, really good game. Yeah, you just executed kind of everywhere. On the other side, you look at Detroit. It was close against Chicago. It was way closer than it should have been. To be honest, you should have lost that game or at least had it be sent into overtime. But yeah, you did get the win. You were still on a 10-game win streak. You know, those backs are always playing well. That team just plays well. With that being said, their defense is a little banged up. They haven't done the greatest in national TV games. And I really need them to lose because then the Eagles just have to win out and we have all the tiebreakers for the 1 seed. That doesn't happen with any other losses the Lions have. So give me the Packers 30-28. It's going to be a close game. But I think that the Lions, they just don't have a very healthy team right now. I think if this is one game that they're going to get lost in, it's going to be this one. And give me the Pack, man. You've got the Browns traveling to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to play the Pittsburgh Steelers. When you look at those Steelers, they put up 44 points last week. Yes, it's the Bengals defense, but that's a lot of points. Yeah, the team looked great. You had a fumble return for a touchdown. The offense just looked clicking. I think Russ had 400 yards. It was great. On the other side, you look at the Browns, full Jameis Winston experience, and I love it. I think that there should be a rule where Jameis Winston is just the backup for every team in every primetime game. But yeah, it was a perfect Jameis Winston game. It was a perfect game to watch as a viewer. But he did lose. He put up a great offensive performance, but you lost. And I think that that's going to happen again. I want the Jameis Winston experience again. And the Steelers put up 44. So give me probably my highest scoring game this year, 38-30. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because I want to watch a game like that. I want to watch Jameis Winston just do Jameis Winston things, man. Because that is beautiful. Yeah. Give me Pittsburgh. We've got the Saints heading to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. When you look at the Saints, they had a loss last week. They had 2 really good weeks 2 weeks before. It just was not clicking. Yeah, it just was not clicking last week the way that at least it was. Rams are a good team. They came in there. They showed up. On the other side, you look at the Giants. It's been bad. That was a terrible game of football on Thanksgiving. Luckily, I was eating dinner, having, college football playoff conversations. Yeah. But, yeah, it sucked. That game and the Giants. I mean, Drew Lock looked okay. Rest of the team just kind of sucked. I think that they're going to show it again. The Saints aren't a great team, but they're going to be able to sneak out of here 23-17, get a win, get back in the win column, and they still definitely have a shot in the South. The South is wide open, besides maybe the Panthers. The Jets are going to be heading down to Hard Rock Stadium to take on the Miami Dolphins. When you look at those Dolphins, it was bad last week. I don't think that there's another way to say it. The Packers, you went into cold weather and you lost. You can't win in cold weather, apparently. I mean, we knew that, but now we just know it a little more. On the other side, you look at the Jets. It was a very decent first half against the Seahawks, definitely. But you kind of just gave it up. You were stagnant in the second half. Yeah, I don't think that these are great teams. I think that the Dolphins still have a chance. They've been playing some decent football. And that's why I'm going to pick them 31-17. They're going to be able to get the job done. This Jets team is bad. yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. And you've got the Jags, I believe, heading into Tennessee to take on the Titans. When you look at the Jags, last week, you played a pretty competitive game to Houston. You didn't win, but you were not expected to win, definitely. Trevor Lawrence obviously got that hit. He's out for the year probably. They put him on IR. But Mac Jones, he's not a horrendous quarterback. He's an okay backup quarterback. He does the backup role well of not losing you games, not winning you games, definitely, though. A guy that does lose you games, though, is Will Levis. And last week, I finally had faith in the Titans to get a win. And what do? They mess it up. They lose to the Commanders. That was a bad game overall for the Titans. I mean, just when you start off that slow, it's hard to get going. That being said, these are two bad teams. But one team I think is a little better, and that is the Tennessee Titans. Give me them 24-20. The Titans, they're able to put up some offensive production with Will Levis. You know, Nick Westbrook-Akine has just been catching touchdowns left and right. And the Jags do not have a good defense. I do think that they'll put up a fight, though, just because, yes, they're 2-10. They aren't like a 2-10 performing team. But the Jags, the Titans still have this one in the bag. And you've got the Falcons, I believe, heading up to Minnesota to take on the Minnesota Vikings. When you look at the Falcons, last week, what'd you do? You stunk it up against the Los Angeles Chargers. That's what you did. Kirk Cousins just played a horrendous game. And, yeah, your defense played well. I think you still have most of those DBs out. And, you know, their defense played nicely. Their offense did not. When you look at the Vikings, it was a close game against Arizona. Arizona is a good football team, but you took advantage when you had it. You were able to get down there, lead that game-winning drive, score that touchdown, and win that game. And you are a great team. You still have a decent shot at the 1 seed. I believe if the Packers beat the Lions, if you beat the Lions the last week of the season, I think you do get the 1 seed if you obviously win the rest of your games. I think they have the tiebreaker over Philly. Anyways, Minnesota's a very good football team, and I think that they'll be able to show it again. Give me a 27-17 win over these Falcons. Falcons just have not been able to do much, and they are collapsing and just leaving that NFC South wide open for probably the Bucs to take. The team is probably not going to take the NFC South. The Panthers are taking on the Eagles. Now, the Panthers played a very good game last week. They were a Chuba Hubbard fumble away from hitting a game-winning field goal. And Eddie Pinheiro, every kicker in the league misses kicks. Eddie Pinheiro doesn't miss kicks. On the other side, let's talk more about the Panthers, because the Panthers have been playing very well recently. We got to give them respect. They're finding a good way to end the season. They're ending it on a right note. Obviously, this is building into next year, but they are ending it very well. When you look at the Eagles, what did everybody say? They said, oh, this is the week. You know, last week they sucked. They played a sucky team. And this week they played a good team, and they're going to lose. And then what happens? We beat the team. Oh, it's the same thing the next week. And then we finally win against a team that nobody could complain is a bad football team. I don't care about the missed kick, because if the missed kicks happened, they still would have lost, because we wouldn't have let them get down the field on that game-winning drive, because we weren't trying. You were down by 12. Womp, womp. But yeah, Eagles have played some great football. I think that they're going to continue it. I think it's going to be close, though. Give me 26-20. The Panthers will give us a little bit of a scare, because that's what it seems like the Panthers have been able to do recently. We're still going to get this win, though, and I think that we're going to treat it like a little bye. Pittsburgh next week. Got a couple guys hurt. Don't play them, okay? Just, you know, because it's the Panthers. But give me the Eagles 26-20. And to end off a pretty small 1 o'clock slate, do we only have 6 games? We have 7. Is the Raiders heading to Tampa to take on the Bucs. When you look at the Raiders, last week, you had your shot. You could have done it. And guess what you did? You screwed it up because your stupid guard didn't tap the center at the wrong time. And it's not the center's fault, okay? As a center myself, I would be punching that guy in the face. That was horrendous, and that was the worst way that I've ever seen the Chiefs win. And there's been a lot of bad ways that the Chiefs have won on the other side. But yeah, the Raiders just have not been a good football team this year. It seems like they might have found something with AOC, though. He's been looking pretty decent recently. On the other side, you look at the Bucs. you've been winning recently. Panthers was close. Giants was the Giants. But you have been getting wins, and you're facing another bad team, and you're going to get another win. 30-23, give me the Bucs, and I believe that this will have them take the lead in the NFC South. So, yeah, that'll be good for Tampa Bay being able to lock up a playoff spot. 4 o'clock slate starts off with a pretty competitive NFC West matchup. The Seahawks heading to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. When you look at the Seahawks, that win versus the Jets was crucial. You were able to come back, get a very good win, and now you are in prime control of this NFC West. This game here would be huge if you're able to win it. So yeah, it'll be a great game for the Seahawks. I don't know why I'm doing this. It's not even cold down here. This thing. Anyways, on the other side, you look at the Cardinals. They had a very good week last week. To play a team like Minnesota, who's that good, that competitively, is a win in my book. Obviously, not a win on the schedule, but yeah, you were able to show that you can mess with the big dogs. And I think in Arizona, Seattle usually has some trouble. I think give me the Cardinals. Give me 27-24. The Cardinals are going to be able to come out on top, win this game, and that, I believe, will tie up the NFC West. And obviously, you can't forget about the Rams. You can forget about the 49ers, though. Ha ha. And the Bears travel down to San Francisco. Travel down? Yeah, down to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. When you look at the Niners, this team sucks. It doesn't suck that bad. You were playing in the snow. You're from San Francisco. But, CMC's out for the year. Jordan Mason's on IR. You're looking at Isaac Orendo in that backfield. You know, receivers. Everybody's hurt. And, it kind of sucks to see everybody be hurt. It does not suck to see the Niners suck, though. On the other side, you look at the Bears. You were so close. That's been the saying every week. You're so close. But you lost, and maybe you got the reason why you lose all those close games out the building in Matt Eberflus. You canned him, and let me say this. Matt Eberflus made the right decision to not call his timeout. That's on the quarterback to get up there and run a play and not spend 25 seconds getting his men back together. Get on there, yell something out, and run a play. But he did get fired, and I'm running out of time. So, give me the Bears, 28-23. Teams play better when they lose their coach, and the Niners have just sucked recently. I think that the Bears will be able to not really get back on track. They're pretty much out of it, but get a much-needed win right here. Got the Bills heading to Los Angeles to take on the Rams. When you look at those Rams, very good win against the Saints. Saints were coming off some momentum. You were able to go in there and just kind of shut it down. Defense played really good. Offense played decent when it needed to. You only scored 6 going into the fourth, but you scored enough to win in that fourth quarter. Or were you the team with 7? You were the team with 7. But still, you were able to get the job done. On the other side, you look at the Bills. They were in that snow game we just talked about, and they dominated. I think Josh Allen sprouted up. I think he is probably the MVP frontrunner now. What the Bills have been doing. They just got Micah Hyde back. That's going to be cool to see. But yeah, Bills, they are a great football team. They're going to show it again. Give me a 35-20 win. Rams are still pretty competitive in the West, especially if the Seahawks beat the Cardinals, balance some stuff out. But yeah, the Bills are a very good team. They'll be able to show it again. Give me a very comfortable 15-point win in SoFi. And it is Sunday Night Football. The Chargers heading to Arrowhead to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. When you look at those Chiefs, whatever is being used, I don't like it, all right? I don't like what you're doing. Nobody likes you anymore. It used to be like, oh, the Chiefs, I don't get why everybody hates Taylor Swift and stuff, and I don't get why everybody hates the Chiefs. Now I get why everybody hates the Chiefs, because they win games that they shouldn't be winning. They're 8 inches away from being 5-7. You know, when you look at the Chargers, let's get on a happier note. You got a win against the Falcons. Falcons didn't play their best ball, but you were able to do what you need to do to get a win. It's hard to win in the National Football League. Yeah, the team looks good. The defense looks great yesterday. I think yesterday. Looked great on Sunday. I think that they'll be able to replicate it. But the only thing that gets replicated and used more than any offense, any defense, anything you call it guarantee, is the Chiefs winning a close game that they shouldn't win. Give me the Chiefs 20-19 because that's just what happens. Yeah. I do want the Chargers to win, but it's probably not going to happen. And ESPN, I feel bad that you made this your Simpsons game because it was supposed to be a good game. But now you've got two teams with 9 wins between them, the Bengals and the Cowboys. This game is going to suck. But when you look at the Cowboys, they have gotten 2 straight wins. It has been pretty decent over these last 2 games. You beat the Commies, who are a decent team. The Giants obviously aren't. You've looked like a good football team. Not a great football team. Not a good football team. But a not horrendous football team. On the other side, you look at the Bengals. That's kind of how they've been. They've been a good football team. At some points, a great football team. But when they need to, they've been a trash football team. They're 4-8. Whatever any stats you say, you're still not winning football games. With that being said, I just can't pick against them. Give me the Bengals 31-24. They will be able to get the job done in Dallas. And, yeah, let's hope those Simpsons have fun out there. And it's worth me having to watch the Bengals and the Cowboys on Monday night. With that being said, that's going to be it for this video. Hope that you guys enjoyed it. If it did, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see y'all in the next one. Peace. Carolina was completely robbed of a playoff spot. I'm sorry, but the committee sucks. All right, just make a bunch of playing games. I don't care. Make it a 64-team tournament. Why don't we have December madness in college football? Because that was pretty bad hosing. Yeah, see y'all next time.